Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome back. Yet another LC Coaches Show. I am Brad Welburn, as always, and as you can see here to my left, we are joined by our women's basketball coach, Patrece Carter, as we get ready for their almost last two games of the calendar year. At least they have one more after right around Christmas. But played two ASC games this week against Sul Ross and Howard Payne, and we'll get into that in just a few minutes. But Coach, it's been a little bit of time since you guys played an actual game. I know you played an exhibition on Monday at McNeese, but it's been almost a week or two,
almost 2 weeks. Yeah.
Wow, yeah, crazy. Since you guys played last, so. I guess, and we talked a little bit about it last week. You kind of took a break for finals, let them kind of focus on that and get their work done in the classroom. So during practices that week and leading into this week, what's the team? What are they feeling like? I know they're probably ready to get back on the floor.
Oh yeah, we're ready. Practice has been. Each practice was a focus on something specific. We had a couple of practices where we focused on just half-court defense. We've had a couple of practices where it's been nothing but shooting drills. We've had a couple of practices where we've focused on the efficiency of an offense. So we've done it. We kind of structure it so that the girls were worried about one thing at a time, and we just kind of kept working until it got to the level that I expected it to be. We moved on with reviews, kind of like in the classroom. You know, you teach it, you review it, you move on, you come back and review what you've already been taught. So it's just been a single-minded focus on defense, executing our offenses, and just putting the ball in the hole.
Yeah. So talk a little bit about that game on Monday, the exhibition down at McNeese. We talked a little bit about it off the air last week, that you knew it was going to be a really tough test for you guys. McNeese is very, very good.
Yes, they are.
And they kind of showed that on Monday. But what positive things did you gain out of that for you as far as preparing our girls for the ASC? Well,
the second half we played them pretty even. I think they outscored us by 7 in the third, and we played them even in the fourth. I think it was just jitters. I still have a relatively young team. My seniors are feeling the pressure. They felt some pressure. It wasn't necessarily, we're the underdog. It's like we have a chance. I prepared them. McNeese is very good, very athletic, big guards, big post players, but nothing that we hadn't seen before. And I think once that novelty of being in a D1 institution, wore off, the second half, my girls kind of came with it. I told them if they play every game the way they played the second half, I'll be a happy coach, win or lose. We should win, but win or lose, we'll be a happy coach. They just had some fire in the second half. And so we talked about it at length in practice yesterday. What was the difference? Why can't you play every team? And they even said it themselves. Well, sometimes, Coach, we play to the level of our competition. I said, and you've got to stop that. You play everyone as if they're D1 squad, and, you'll win out the rest of the year.
So I think that leads perfectly into our game on tomorrow night against Sul Ross, because at least on paper, certainly a team that you feel like you definitely should beat. But like you said, if they're I think a lot of teams are guilty of playing to their competition level. But it's one of those things where you have to put that aside and say, hey, they're an ASC team. They want to win just as bad as we do. And you got to come out and play your best.
One thing about the ASC this year is actually from the top to the bottom, everyone can win any given night. The records are not an indication of the type of competition. I think everyone's played pretty tough schedules. And so looking at the record, you may say, oh, well, this should be an easy game, but I know better. Watching film, I just know from the top to the bottom. I mentioned it the first week, the coaches in ASC do a tremendous job of recruiting. And so I know going into each game, and I try to portray that to each one of my kids, you can't take anyone lightly, because any given night, you have a bad night, they have a great night, anything can happen. So we're looking forward to these next two games. They have some, Sul Ross and Howard Payne are trying to make some legway into the conference, and so they're probably going to look to knock us off.
Yeah, definitely. Certainly it is definitely, because I feel like coming in, and the way we played early, have kind of set ourselves up to be one of the teams that, hey, they're a quality team. We got to play our best. And so they're going to come in and want to, like you said, knock us off, so to speak. So leading into that Howard Payne game, we kind of mentioned it last week. They probably got some little ill will towards us a little bit from last year. So they definitely want to come in and knock us off on the home floor. But they're missing some pieces from last year's team that kind of led them into that #1 seed. But still very good.
Very good. We're hoping Belhaven, because Belhaven plays full pressure, full court pressure the way we do. So we're hoping it tires them out a little bit before they get to us. But yeah, Mia is great at what she does, and she's probably already have 2 or 3 that were ready to step in as soon as those seniors graduated. Yeah. And so, like you said, she's a competitor, and her kids take after her. We're going to get everyone's best. You know, looking at everyone expects us to have a good run this year because I returned all my starters. I returned most of my players. I added a lot of key transfers. So like you said, when on paper you look like a quality team, you're going to get everybody's best game. So we have to be on point every night.
Right. Talk about also coming up this week and kind of how it's going to work with the it's Rapides Parish School Day as well on Thursday and Saturday. So correct me if I'm wrong, but you get a flyer. You get it gives you admission with the purchase of a general admission ticket.
That's correct.
And that's for all Rapides Parish School
That is correct.
People.
Every student in Rapides Parish can get in free Thursday and Saturday evening. If you don't get a flyer for whatever reason, you lose a flyer. If you have a school ID, that would also get you in with the purchase of a general admission ticket. So bring a buddy, bring a parent, let them pay for a ticket, show your ID, and get your ticket for free.
Yeah, it's it's a great way to sort of end the semester.
Yeah.
Come and check out. If you haven't been to Rapides Coliseum, you can come watch some basketball there. Yes. It'll be 4 very quality games as well in the ASC. So that'll be a lot of fun to check out. So Thursday, 5:30, that's when the girls will tip off against Saul Ross. And then, of course, we'll have the guys game following that. And then Saturday at 2 o'clock, same deal. They'll play Howard Payne, and then the guys will take on the Yellow Jackets afterwards all at Rapides Coliseum. So check it out and come be a part. Come join and take a little break from your Christmas shopping and the craziness of the mall and all that sort of stuff.
Come join our craziness.
Yeah, just relax and watch this craziness. Yeah. So I hope you're there. If not, be sure to follow the game on live stream, live stats as well. All those links are available at lcwildcats.net. You can find them there, easy peasy, and you can keep up with the women's basketball team throughout this week, next week, and throughout the rest of the season. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Coach, as always, appreciate you stopping by. Again, this will be the last episode of the Patrece Carter Show until 2018. So we'll have plenty to talk about when we come back in January. So be sure to keep track on the website and everything for all women's basketball at LC. So thanks for watching. I'm Brad Welburn. Have a very Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. We'll see you next time.
Merry Christmas.